What's up, buddies? Welcome to another episode or another video on the channel. Today we have, as promised, or as at least via the requests of last player review, a full icon swap review on BALLACK. Now, I am very interested to see how this player review goes today, because we've actually used a lot of players within BALLACK's position that I think are incredible. Obviously, Ruud Gullit is the GOAT of the Gullit role. And just so you guys are wondering, I will be doing this player review around BALLACK in the Ruud Gullit role. So for me, the Ruud Gullit role is at left DM as an attacking-minded midfielder, getting up the field, still doing enough defensively, breaking up the play, doing all that stuff, but mainly pushing up the field and almost being that secondary cam or center mid that gets to the top of the box or sometimes inside of the box to score a goal. So very similar to our Scream Firmino player review, where we did a test to see, is he the cheap Ruud Gullit, where we used Firmino in a 4-2-3-1 at left DM. I fell in love with that Firmino. So the next stage is to obviously do a icon swap review on BALLACK. A lot of you guys in the Crespo and versus Patrick Kluivert player review, where I said, hey, what's the next review you guys want to see? A lot of people were saying Pirlo and a lot of people were saying BALLACK. So I decided to go with BALLACK first. Hopefully you guys are interested in this as well. Now, one thing I do believe is you guys will be using someone like BALLACK in different areas. For me, I realistically think the only usable spot for this BALLACK is in that Ruud Gullit role as a roaming midfielder in a 4-2-3-1, or using him maybe as a box-to-box in a 4-4-2 like one of the center mids, or as a box-to-box in a 4-1-2-1-2 as one of the wide mids, or as a Ruud Gullit role in a 4-2-2-2 at left DM in the 4-2-2 as well, getting up the field. And the reason why I would want to use him there is mainly I just don't find his defensive stats to be that amazing. Number one. Number two, you just have so many good DMs in the game that I don't know if BALLACK would end up being the best option when you can go get yourself a Kante for so cheap, or you can go get yourself an Axel Witsel for so cheap, or you can go get yourself, basically every league has a couple of really, Scream Medell. You know, every league has a couple of very good DMs that greatly overshadow BALLACK in the defensive role. However, if you do decide to use him in the DM role, make sure you throw a shadow on him. A shadow will take him to 84 sprint speed, 85 acceleration, and then I think into the mid 80s or low 90s for most defensive stats. So as a DM, he could work, and he does have decent work rates and height for a DM, but I just think the 4-star might be a little bit wasted on him at right DM. And again, Axel Witsel is basically this exact card if you want to consider him for the DM role for 20,000 coins, as opposed to, what is it, 17 tokens or 16 tokens? So for me, I wanted to try him out in the Ruud Gullit role, and tomorrow, if this goes well, I want to bring in another player that I think would compete for BALLACK in that role, which will be Steven Gerrard's 89 rated card. We will be testing him out for tomorrow after rewards and all of that good stuff, but we will be using him in the Ruud Gullit role as well. So lots of good players to use. I'm very hyped up for this player, and more importantly, this team looks kind of cool. We picked up a Bobby Baggio. We did the very new CSL SBC. I got myself an Adair, considering he's got 85 finishing, 90 attack positioning, long shot power. I believe he's 4-star too, which he is, high medium work rates. As just a moving striker, I think he'd be incredible with an engine as well. Like, he's got 95 balance, 93 agility, 98 dribbling. You know, he's got all the pace, all the passing setup that you would want from a striker. So while we are doing the BALLACK icon swap review and whether or not you should put your money or your icon swaps towards a BALLACK, there are a few other fun players within this squad that I think you guys are going to like. So real quick, I did see a few people in the Bobby Firmino versus Gullit player review, the Scream Bobby Firmino review. Like, people were asking, like, okay, well, how do you put the instructions on Bobby Firmino and in your 4-2-3-1? So this is the, I thought I showed it in most of my reviews, like how and where I use the players, but I'll do it again here. So I use a 4-2-3-1 with pressure after possession loss, 4-4 defensively, and then possession and 4-5 offensively. Now, normally I put my corners on full, but I find I get counterattacked so hard after corners that now I just keep like 1 or 2 players in the box. I don't know how to score corners anyways, so I keep them like that. In terms of the team layout, obviously nothing changes there. Everything's pretty much the same other than Giovinco and Dino moving around. And specifically, all the other player setups are relatively bog standard. The one that matters the most, obviously, your Conte role, your Vieira role is filled by Fabinho today. Stay back, you know, very similar, simple, cut passing lanes. And then for BALLACK, actually, to not have him move around too much, keep the shape, there we go. This is what we have him set up on. So very simply, just get forward, balanced defensive behavior, interceptions normal, and coverage defense center, sorry, because if you put his coverage on cover wing, anytime your wing backs push up the field, he kind of drops into that wing back spot. So 2 reasons I don't want that to happen is when I get the ball back, I use the Ruud Gullit roll to push up the field. So if I get the ball back, but like BALLACK is at left back, I don't have him to use very well, so I keep him in cover center. And I have, sorry, at least for this formation, as far as I know, I have my wingbacks on overlap and stay back. Yeah, stay back and overlap. So that stops BALLACK from like dropping into the deep rolls and really being involved in the play. So that's the setup. We're gonna do at minimum again 2 games. The difference for today's episode or today's review, what you guys saw in Crespo, Kluivert, Armalika editing up this whole video, is you guys probably saw all the goals and all that good stuff. Whereas for today, because the main focus is going to be around BALLACK, you guys should be seeing reviews and highlights and my thoughts on anything and everything that BALLACK does good or bad, not necessarily the goals I score or the goals I concede, because again, it's all about BALLACK both in the Ruud Gullit role, and maybe we'll just see how he feels as an outright DM as well. So I'll have an analysis on where I would want to use him, which is in the Gullit role, but also I'll try and give you guys my thoughts on him as an outright CDM. So without further ado, let's get into these games. All right, so we can check out the first team we come up against. Now, that's a pretty capable squad for sure. The red player's flying. I'm assuming this guy is going to be trying to get the first owner objective. So no matter what, we're going to experience BALLACK and how he can deal with moving up the field playing against that team. I'll probably end up letting this guy win so he can get that first owner objective out of the way for this team. And who knows, he might batter me anyways. Okay, let's go, boys. BALLACK in that number 13 in the Chelsea kit. You love it. Oh yeah, I forgot to put us in Stamford Bridge, but that's fine. Whatever. Okay, BALLACK, first thing he does is pass the ball out of bounds. Oof. That's a bit of a yikes. Okay, where's BALLACK? See BALLACK dropping into that defensive role, though. Okay. Ben Yedder with the lunge of dreams. Yeah, here we go. See? What is up with the passing? Okay, but that did all start from BALLACK, basically. BALLACK. Like it. BALLACK with 4-star skills is kind of insane. Oof. Heron taking that to the face. Yeah, BALLACK with 4-star skills is weird. Like, just a DM with 4-star skills, or an even attacking-minded, deep-lying midfielder with 4-star skills is kind of cool. BALLACK! Oh! BALLACK laying it off to Dino. Dino cracking it off the crossbar. There he is, BALLACK. That's what we need, man. That felt very Ruud Gullit-esque, man. Just breaking up that play. Disheveled here. I've got Fabinho in the wrong side of the... Good job, BALLACK again, man. Really nice. You know, one thing I will say, I mean, I'm kind of forcing BALLACK up the field here, offensively. I kind of feel like even 28 minutes into the game, I'm forcing him into the Ruud Gullit role. Does that make sense? Like, I genuinely feel like BALLACK would probably be better as just an outright DM. Oh, Eder, you're gonna miss that, bro. Unlucky. Good play. So dangerous. Nice, Ballack. Good pickup. Okay, trying to play that ball back to Ballack. Didn't work. Yeah, I really like getting tackled through my back. That's fun. Good. Love it. Oh my God, Ruffier. What a save. Okay. Jeez. Back! Oh, he was there. My. What in the? Okay. Well, I don't know what happened there, but at halftime, utter dominance from our team. Our opponents doing the usual, like trying to counterattack. I don't know really whether I find the one depth to be too much of an issue. Now, again, Ballack does have the best rating out of everybody, but as always, when I'm doing these player reviews, I am trying to force the ball to the player to see how they move, to see how they pass, right? So his passing completed is very, very good. His dribbles are perfect. His tackles won. He's dominating the midfield. But again, at least 45 minutes into the game, he feels like a proper good DM as opposed to more someone I would want in that Ruud Gullit box-to-box midfield role.
Here's Depay. Well, from the interception here, they'll be thinking of going forward themselves.
Love it. Go to the ball. Jesus, Lord, have mercy. That's gorgeous. That's got to be a goal. Beautiful play through the whole team. How does Roberto Baggio not even hit the target there? What? I thought it got blocked initially. That was the most boring game of FIFA I've ever played. I was planning on giving this guy a win. So after 90 minutes, other than me realizing how horrible this new patch is, Ballack is all right. I do think he'd be a better DM than a box-to-box mid as of right now. And that's with an engine. If you put Ballack on a shadow, I think he would be an absolutely incredible DM. I should have won this game, though. Baggio missed two. Was it 2 or 1 clear-cut opportunity? I wonder if the game's even going to show this. I just want to look at this back again real quick. Right here. Dude, what? Ballack did a spin fire pass, which is a little bit ridiculous. How am I not scoring there? How am I not scoring? Wait. That's terrible. Isn't Baggio has a 4-star weak foot, right? Fun game, guys. Good to know dropback has been nerfed according to EA and nobody else. Okay, so for this second game, I'm going to try out Ballack not in the Gullit role, but in the actual holding DM role. So in the Conte Vieira role. Now, I don't have a shadow on him, so bear in mind that he will be a hell of a lot better with the addition of a shadow chem style. But even from the first game, it was just very apparent that he seems to be very dominant defensively and physically in a team. He didn't really fit for the Ruud Gullit role, so we got my red 86 Gini Wijnaldum in the team. Gini Wijnaldum will play the Gullit role, and Ballack will play the holding role. It's impossible to fucking score in this game. It's literally impossible to score nowadays. Oh my God, that's so unlucky that it's offside. Gini Wijnaldum in the Gullit role again for the team, and he makes that pass. Wow, that's so unlucky, dude. Damn, what a pass, though. Good to know. Look at that. I'm facing the player with inform Wijnaldum, and I can't make that pass. GG Ballack, though. Great tackle there.
Baggio. Roberto Baggio. Opportunity.
It is impossible to play this game right now. Everybody still sits on drop back, and passing is so hard, dude. I just shredded his whole team and failed the final pass for a tap-in. And he's offside again! It doesn't even matter! The fact that goalkeeper just kick saved that point blank! Holy God! Is there a way to score? Hold on, how do you score? This apparently is the only way to score. This guy's literally been running down the byline the whole game, trying to chip the ball across goal. I think 4-2-3-1's dead. I can't look at this drop back, man. Imagine they said they nerfed it. Look at how broken it is. It's impossible to do anything anymore now. You know what's so funny is when reading the patch notes, I said, you know how they said, like, where now you go into a tackle, you're more likely to come away with a ball? Remember what I said, dudes? I said, I'm worried because EA have proven over the last 3 years that they don't know how to balance the game. So what I think with them doing that, what's going to make this game more broken is people that tackle through your back will now have even more consistency in taking the ball away just by fouling you in the back. And what has happened now? These guys on 10 drop back where, oh no, now instead of 8 players in the box, you have your 4 defenders in the box and then the 4 midfielders right at the top of the 18. Oh my God, that's such an improvement on drop back. Number one. Number two, now with one of the midfielders, they just run into your back and shove you over and you can do nothing. You can do absolutely nothing. So I know this is meant to be a look at this. I know this is meant to be a BALLACK at DM review, but you want to know what a review this is of? This game's sucking ass even more so now with this newest patch. Like, what is this? I mean, now he'll get his counter, right? Simple pass, my player fucks it. So I'm sure he'll get his counter in. Good tackle. And he gets the ball back. And again, good tackle, though. How is that such a dog shit pass? Oh, yeah, here it is. Here it is. There you go. There's the counter. Suck your mum, dude. Suck your mum, bro. And that's exactly why, even while losing, the guy sits there with 10 players behind the ball, because eventually my team will fuck the pass and he will get a tap in like that. That, unfortunately, he's too dog shit to be able to score, but that's exactly why people sit like that, ultra defensive. Because it doesn't matter. This game is a mess. There you go. Defend with Wilfried Zaha, dude. No. With Anderson. Defend with Anderson. Nice. With Anderson and Zaha. Losing 1-0. That's perfect. That's amazing. Well, that is the end of this amazing BALLACK review. So to try and be a little bit useful to you guys, because I think for the most part of this gameplay, I've just been in shock and awe at how horrendously broken this new patch is. And just real quick again, I do not think they've done a bloody thing in making drop back less horrible. In fact, I think they've made it worse. I honestly think they've somehow made it worse, because the defenders still do everything for your opponent. As you could see, my opponent was defending with Wilfried Zaha and Anderson. He was look, he just sat, everybody dropped deep, and he defended with Zaha and Anderson. Like, what? In fact, can we look at, like, tackles? Look at that. It's just the funniest thing ever, man. The game just does absolutely everything for people that are willing to sit back. And 71% possession! Oh, I almost fell asleep doing this freaking BALLACK review, man. I almost fell asleep. I'm not even kidding. Nevertheless, in terms of BALLACK, let's just get done with this icon swap review. Considering all the icon swaps I've done reviews on, I've been very, very impressed by them. I feel like I would be lying to you guys if I said I enjoyed using BALLACK. Now, again, is it because it's the new patch that I'm not in agreement with? Maybe. And again, don't get me wrong. BALLACK as a box-to-box mid in the Ruud Gullit role, I don't think is even someone you should, a setup you should consider. BALLACK in the DM role, in the Conte role, that role is very, very good. And I can only imagine a lot of you guys looking at this are like, dude, if you put a shadow on him, you would have liked him even more. Facts. I agree with that. The problem that I will reiterate here is if I take you guys over to the squad building challenge section for the swaps, I genuinely feel that someone like BALLACK or Roy Keane or even, where is he? Pep, as a DM is a big waste of a lot of your effort because you can get guys that are like outside of Conte, who's 300k, but you can get guys for like 10 to 50,000 coins that do the same thing. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, but like you get the links and stuff like that. But as I mentioned, in every single league, there is a player that will rival one of these guys as a holding DM. So unfortunately, very, very opposite to how I was so impressed with Hernan Crespo as a striker and couldn't recommend him anymore for you guys for the icon swaps. BALLACK, unless you're like a big Chelsea fan or a Bayern or a Leverkusen fan or a BALLACK fan or a German fan or whatever, sure, ignore what I say no matter what and get him. But outside of that, if you're running like a road to glory, a poor man road to glory, I don't know if I'd be putting my icon swaps into this player. I just don't find him worth it at all. And I think one of the biggest issues is he's kind of like in purgatory. Like he's just stuck in nowhere. You know, he's not a GOAT DM. He's not a GOAT box-to-box mid. He's definitely not a GOAT cam. He's not a GOAT center back. Like, he's just kind of like, eh. So that's kind of my thoughts on the icon swap BALLACK. And I would highly recommend looking maybe somewhere else to put your icon swaps into. God bless you all, and as always, we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace!